What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. This is AOR Italy. So this is round number 3 of this brand new League Racing Championship we're taking part in. As you can see by the driver's standings, we're sitting in 2nd place, just 3 points behind New Zealand Ryan. So it is very tight at the top between myself and Ryan. It is going to be a very close season to see who wins this Drivers' Championship. Ryan is very consistent week in and week out, and that is probably something that I am lacking a little bit. So we'll see how it goes over the course of this season. But heading into Italy, this should be a pretty good round for me. I've done a bit of practice. I did the SRL League race a week ago. I've done some random online open lobbies over the course of the week. The other guys joined me as well, so we're all kind of getting a bit better. So it should be very closely contested for pole position today. Myself, Ryan, Dominator, Fens, Warden, Proza, so many fast guys all vying for pole position today. And I've actually made a really late setup change. I was running like 1-3 wings, but I had some words with a little bird, and they told me that a higher rear wing actually kind of makes you faster. I don't know why, but I thought I'd try it out. I might be a little bit slower in qualifying, but in terms of the race, I should be a little bit better. But as you can see there, first run comes to a close. It is a 1 minute 20.6. We carry on for another lap just to see if we can better it. I could have, but I didn't want to do the extra lap, get the extra tyre wear, and have to deal with that over the course of the race. So I decided to pit, and we'll go out again towards the end of the session with 5 minutes to go. So there's a bit of waiting to do. Very close to the top. As you can see, myself, Hazardous, Jared, and Warden all separated by half a tenth. So yeah, once again, it is ridiculously close. Pole position was separate, or the top 3 was separated by half a tenth as well in Spa. So it is, you know, the tiniest of margins that'll get you pole position or make the biggest difference between you being on the front row and maybe being on like the 6th row or something like that. So yeah, you can't afford to make mistakes. Not in a high quality league like this is, where everyone is practicing that much more. But here we go for the final run here in qualifying. You can see I was trying to attack those curbs in the middle sector chicane, but it was just a little bit awkward. I just bobbled over the top of it a little bit, delayed me getting on the power. So yeah, not ideal. But as you can see, I think this is a pretty good lap. You can see we're up by just under a tenth, but unfortunately I didn't get a delta over the course of this lap, so I wasn't quite sure how I was progressing, where I was gaining time, where I was losing time, corner in, corner out. But yeah, on current pace, I think we might get into P3. I don't think we're going to challenge for pole position today. I think pole now is a 1 minute 20.2 or 1 minute 20.3. So yeah, probably not the case for us. If we come across the line, it is P2. Jared gets pole position, and he stays there by the end of the session. Ryan improves to get P2. Proza into P4, and my teammate VSR Fens in P5. Warden, who was looking really strong early on, gets P7. So in his eyes, probably not a good qualifying position, but he was only 3.5 tenths away. That is how close this league is. The top 11 separated by half a second. That is just how competitive this league is, which just makes it so much more enjoyable. But we're getting ready for the race now, for the Italian Grand Prix. Race strategy is a one-stop, as you'd come to expect. We're going to be putting on the soft compound tyres in the second stint, simply because it is faster. The softs can make it to the end. You'll have to stretch your supers maybe a lap or 2 longer than what you need to, or what you would prefer to on the other strategy, but it is faster overall, and it should give us the W if we can pull it off. So here we go, 5 red lights, the Italian Grand Prix, and we are underway from P3. Jared gets an absolutely horrible start there. Ryan jumps him off the line and into the lead. We'll see if we can follow him through up the inside. We're a little bit conservative under brakes there. We don't want to run into the back of Ryan or Jared, lose a bit of our front wing. A bit of contact for the 2 leaders. And it looks like Ryan gets out ahead. So fairly clean start for all of us there. So that's all that we can really ask for, as we now run side by side with Jared. 2 wheels on the grass as well, no less. And Ryan is really defending hard. As we go into the middle sector chicane, we try and go around the outside. Couldn't quite make it work there. Jared goes to the outside, gets the position back, and we drop back into P3. So yeah, bit of a messy start. Jared gets a bit loose there on the first Lesmo, and I think he's lost his front wing. I'll have to confirm that, but I think he lost his front wing there. So he got a little bit too antsy there. He was probably pushing a little bit too much. This is his debut race, and from what he said in the Twitter DMs afterwards, he said he was very, very nervous. So probably, yeah, just nerves getting the better of him there in the early stages of the Grand Prix. But it pretty much allows myself and Ryan to break away from the rest of the pack. Proza is getting heavily attacked from the cars behind, so he's pretty distracted. Meanwhile, myself and Ryan are just in full VMAX mode, trying to, you know, smash away from the rest of the pack. And 1 minute 23.2 on the last lap. That is absolutely rapid. I don't know how Ryan has pulled that kind of lap time out of his backside, but we were only able to do that because we were in his slipstream. So, yeah, very, very pacey at the start of this Grand Prix. For comparison, our fastest lap in the opening stint in SRL last week in this race was at 1 minute 23.9. So the pace is so much faster than what it was last week. That's what extra practice does for you. But anyway, as we had 7 laps into this Grand Prix, it was just toing and froing between myself and Ryan. It was quite hard to overtake. I was doing my best to stay with him. Although, to be fair, I wasn't burning all of my fuel, to be honest. I was just kind of running with him, staying with him if I could. And it looks like Ryan has not got the best exit out of the Ascari chicane. And I don't think he's running in rich revs either. So this might be a chance for us to get the position here. He gets a bit taily out of the Parabolica there, so this might be a chance for us to take the lead of this Italian Grand Prix. Rich revs, DRS, slipstream, it's all happening now in this start-finish straight. And we'll see if we can lunge him up the inside, heading into turn 1. He leaves the inside. We take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. We just need to pull it up and make sure we don't corner cut, which we've managed to do, into the lead after 8 laps. Let's just pull away if we can. You can see the gap back to 3rd place is really substantial now as we head on to lap 9. I think the gap is like 7-8 seconds to the rest of the field. It really is monumental. But we come on to lap 9. I do a little fake dummy into the pits, but Ryan falls for it. Although he did say in the after-race interviews that he was intending to pit on that lap anyway. So it looks like Ryan gets the undercut. We're going to have to do 1 lap extra and just push like crazy to make sure we don't lose too much time to Ryan. So yeah, this is going to be really close. I felt like lap 9 was a little too early to pit. I was thinking maybe lap 10, maybe lap 11 as an overcut. Say, you know, if I couldn't pit on lap 10, but yeah, Ryan has gone for the undercut, and it might work for him here. So into the pits we go, onto the soft compound tyres. My teammate is into the pits as well, so that is not going to do his race all too well, getting a slow pit stop. We rejoin on the track, and Ryan gets a position. So it looks like the undercut has worked by about 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds if you account for the fact that he was about a second behind me. So here's some replays at the start of the race. This is on board with Harry Ryan, so starting from P15. Not a great qualifying for him. You can see as he goes into turn 1, he's really brave going up the middle of everyone here. And he's already picked up 4 or 5 places up the inside of the Ferrari. The Force India of Aaron doesn't get a good exit, and that is P11. So a very risky start there, considering where he was starting. Normally, when you're at the back, you normally just chill and just allow everyone to crash. But no, Harry was getting right into it, which was actually really nice to see. But on the previous clip, we saw I think it was Aaron getting taken out by Fens into the Parabolica corner. And now you can see here Harry trying to attempt an overtake on Jetson. It continues into the middle sector now, where he goes defensive into the second chicane. He's squeezed off the track, and Harry takes matters into his own hands by just straight lining that chicane with you know, full intent there, full throttle there. So he gets a 5-second stop-go penalty and an illegal overtake for his troubles. So yeah, Harry Ryan's race took a bit of a turn there, but we got back to the action now with Ryan overtaking Aaron, who hasn't made a stop yet, and he makes fairly easy work of him. For us though, we've got a bit of work to do. The gap to Ryan is 2 or 3 seconds, and we've got to negotiate Aaron as well as Harry Ryan, who Ryan is negotiating now. Harry lets him go through, and that is Ryan back into the lead of this Grand Prix. So we cut on to pretty much the next lap. We're in the slipstream and DRS of Aaron here as we head into turn 1. I might think about a move up the inside here. It's very late. It's like a Daniel Ricciardo-esque move up the inside, and we get the job done into the podium. And man, that was really risky, putting the race entirely on the line there. And credit to Aaron as well. He actually left the space, so fair play. Fair play. I had to get that move done because Ryan was getting away. I didn't want to get stuck behind Aaron for another half lap. race would have been over. So yeah, I just had to make really quick work of him. We actually got past Harry Ryan as well, who pretty much pulled off to the side and let us go. So thank you, Harry. Really appreciate that. Now we can get on with trying to chase down Ryan. It's going to be a task and a half because Ryan is very fast, very consistent. You can see over the course of these next few laps, the gap was staying at 2.5 seconds no matter what laps I was doing. I had to work really hard to start to breach that gap, and after 5-6 laps of just pushing flat out, I was finally able to get the gap within 2 seconds, but unfortunately, 3-second time penalty. Just pushed that a little bit too hard into the Ascari chicane, and that's our first penalty of the race. I'm not too sure where Ryan is in terms of his penalties and warnings, but yeah, he might be on a penalty as well. He did get a penalty at SRL last week at Italy, and that is what cost him the win. Could that be the same case for me today? We'll have to wait and see, but the gap is now 9/10, and for some reason we didn't get DRS on that last lap, so a little bit annoyed at that, but we'll keep pressing on and see what we can do. But you can see running out of laps here. We're also really dangerously close to running out of fuel. You can see where we are 0.9 down on fuel. So we really do need to start saving, and we need to start saving now. I actually set myself a target of getting in front of Ryan by lap 23. If I couldn't have got in front of him by lap 23, I was going to completely back off and save fuel. But it looks like we might be able to just about get that target achieved here as we head on to lap 24 now. Rich Rev, Slipstream, DRS to the inside, and this is the lead of the Grand Prix. Exactly what we needed with only 3 laps left to go in this race. Ryan slots in a second, and now for us, it's all about fuel saving. And we are 0.9 down on fuel, so we've got a lot of work to do. We've actually already started to lift and coast into some of the heavy braking zones. So from here, lean revs entirely through the middle sector. Standard revs where I feel like Ryan might be threatening. I was still running in lean revs there. That was actually quite brave. Again, lifting off into the Ascari chicane. We've got a lot of fuel saving to do now to make it to the end of this race, let alone with penalties. I really do hope that Ryan's got a 3-second time penalty against his name. Maybe even more. Here he goes. Slipstream DRS. He's going to go to the outside. I'm going to make him go around the long way if I can. Late under brakes into turn 1. Ryan has locked up and gone in a little bit too deep. He's overshot the second part of the chicane. We get the lead back, and we've actually got it in good time as well because Ryan has made a huge mistake there. So, in a way, we've been let off the hook there. So, I'll have a replay here. This is Ryan going into the chicane really late for him. He gets like some oversteer, just asking way too much of the tyres at the end of the race, and leaks like a 1.5 seconds there. So, yeah, that was a massive, massive get out of jail free card for me. Because now I can spend the next lap or so just 100% fuel saving. So you can see short shifting pretty much in every gear, running in higher gears through corners, lifting and coasting, all the tricks that are up my sleeve. I'm gonna make full use of over the course of this next lap until Ryan gets within, I don't know, 2 or 3 tenths of me. Then we'll go back to, you know, business as usual. So a lap and a half to go, maybe even a little bit less, and we still need to save 1/3 of a lap of fuel. So this is going to be really tight, really tight indeed. Like I still want to finish the race. I still want to finish in front of Ryan, but it's going to be damn close. Trying to make it to the end, lifting off massively into Parabolica now. This is getting to critical levels of making it to the end of this race. Now I need this win to get back in the lead of the Drivers' Championship for this AOR Championship. Ryan wants to win the race, and he's going to try and do the best he can. Rich Revs, he has a look to the inside. We cover that off and make Ryan again go around the long way into turn 1. Hopefully he can make the same mistake. That'll really help me out. No, Ryan takes it really cautiously there. Slow in, fast out. And yeah, he's pretty chill now. I think he knows the situation. He knows I'm really struggling on fuel. So he can probably afford to be a little bit cautious with this. And a little bit of a lift there from Ryan, which I don't really understand. He could have gone up the inside there, so interesting scenes there. But as you can see from me, I'm really backing off massively in this middle sector. I know that Ryan can't overtake me, so this is just 100% park the bus mode. Again, lifting and coasting through these corners, because this is the last chance we'll get to save a little bit of fuel before it comes to some of the more critical straights on this lap. But you can see again, we're still 0.15 down on fuel. We go to the inside a little bit to go defensive. Ryan has nowhere to go there, so he sits in behind for now. But yeah, with literally only one more corner to go, we're still down on fuel. We're not going to make it. We absolutely have to short shift, lift and coast for this final corner as well. But Ryan's on my tail. As we go through the final corner, he goes to the outside. He can afford to run rich revs. We're still down on fuel. We're not going to make it. We are absolutely not going to make it. Ryan's going to win this race up to the line. It's really close. And Ryan gets it. Ryan got it on the drawback of penalties. But we won on track. I don't believe that. That was absolutely insane. Congratulations, Ryan. You really earned that one. That was absolutely incredible. I think the gap in the end, we actually finished in front on track. But the 3-second time penalty we got on and cutting in the Ascari chicane was all the difference there. I just can't believe that I don't know, potentially threw away a chance at winning the race, but at the same time, I can't help but feel that Ryan probably backed off a little bit after he realized I had the penalty. So it could go either way, but, you know, we in a way did throw away that race. We were leading, heading into the pit stop phases. We allowed Ryan to get the undercut, and I just lost too much time in those first few laps after making the pit stop. I didn't close in the difference fast enough and left myself with too much to do, so we got in a lot of trouble there with the fuel. But that was the race. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2017 videos. This AOR league is going to be insane. Myself and Ryan so closely matched on pace, it kind of reminds me of like a Vettel versus Hamilton rivalry that we have going on at the moment. Although there are still so many other people in this league who are capable of winning, just certain things have not gone on their way, and it's just been almost a two-horse race in many of these races. But I expect a lot of the other guys to come to the forefront in the coming races. It's just going to be down to myself and Ryan to make sure we're consistent, make sure we're there to score as many race wins as we can. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. The driver's standings are off in the background like you can see. We were doing podium interviews after the race, and that's why I was focused on the party and not looking at the driver's standings. But you can see them right there. The gap to Ryan, 10 points. You know, it's nothing disastrous. We can still close that in, but I feel like we do need to close in some points in the next race. That would really help our championship. So, 7 races to go. 10 points is the difference. Who's going to win? Let me know. I really hope I can, but I just feel like I need to be better at my consistency and better at my race pace in the wets, and we'll see how we go. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.